Former acting Surgeon General Kenneth Moritsugu tragically lost both his wife Donna and daughter Vicky in fatal car accidents 4 years apart. His family was offered the opportunity to donate their loved ones' organs, cumulatively saving and improving the quality of life for 12 parents, children, spouses, and so on. While Moritsugu knew his act of kindness would not bring his loved ones back, he found comfort in the fact that they were able to give the gift of life, bringing about some good in light of his tragedy. How many of you can say that you've saved someone's life? While this is a question not many of us are able to answer yes to, what if I told you there's a potential to change that? I signed up to become an organ donor at the age of 16 when I first got my driver's license. The topic of organ donation is one that I'm passionate about and have done extensive research on. Registering as an organ donor can save someone's life, save their family's suffering, and help you contribute to society. So what's the need for organ donation? According to Mayo Clinic, every day in the United States, an average of 20 people die waiting on the transplant list due to a lack of donor organs. Over 100,000 people sit on this list, waiting for a call that there's an available organ to save their life. Yet in 2020, only 39,000 organ transplants were performed. Executive Director of the New York Alliance for Organ Donation told the New York Times that the increase in patient deaths due to the organ shortage is particularly vexing because they were preventable. These people were not waiting for medical miracles, she stated. We know what would have saved their lives. These people could and should have been saved, but they weren't. According to organdonor.gov, one organ donor can save up to 8 lives and enhance up to 75. The heart, lungs, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and intestines are all life-saving organs that, unless harvested for transplant, will go to waste after death without giving someone the opportunity to be saved. According to Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center, a transplanted heart from a deceased donor can give someone around 12.5 more years of life, a double lung transplant 7.8 years, and kidney transplants 7 to 9 years. Surgical teams will quickly begin the harvesting process after death, as organs must be transplanted within 6 to 72 hours, according to Britannica. Britannica also states that a deceased donor is viable for organ donation following a cardiac death or if they're declared brain dead, in which there's a total cessation of brain function. In either of these situations, it's impossible to return back to life. With that being said, organs once used to run your body are no longer functional for you, so why not give them to someone whose life still depends on them? Anyone can sign up to become an organ donor, regardless of your age, gender, or race. However, there are certain ineligibilities that may cause organs to be unsuitable for donation, such as chronic illnesses or if the patient wasn't preserved on a ventilator. But with current technology, even people suffering from illnesses are able to give their organs after death. According to Time magazine, Penn Medicine in Philadelphia is conducting a clinical trial in which patients receive organs from someone who was infected with hepatitis C. After the transplant, they will be treated for the disease, and this process will allow more organs to be harvested than ever before. With all of this in mind, there's a good chance that you may have select organs that people are in dire need of. So it's crucial that as many people as possible register to become organ donors in order for the most amount of lives to be saved. While it's clear that other people will benefit significantly from organ donation, you may be wondering what's in it for me. By signing up as an organ donor, you can establish a good conscience and a moral high ground for yourself, knowing that even at the end, you're contributing to society and saving people's lives. Again, more than 100,000 people sit on the transplant list, sick and suffering, anticipating their death if they're not able to get an organ. For reference, this list is about 5 times the amount of students enrolled at Eastern, and it's estimated by UNOS that every 10 minutes another person is added. Further, 20 people lose their battle a day while waiting on this list, but you have the potential to someday lower that number and save a life. All you have to do right now is sign up. Nothing more will be asked of you during your life, and you will have the comfort and satisfaction knowing that when your time comes, you can selflessly benefit others. In addition to the eternal solace you will find knowing that you're a life giver, the process of organ donation can also help your family grieve after you're gone. Referring back to Kenneth Moritsugu's story, while the pain he felt after losing his loved ones could never be erased, he was comforted by the life-giving, life-enhancing opportunity his wife and daughter gave to so many. In addition, Kenneth knew that he was saving other families from going through the same kind of pain he faced, knowing how special it is that they got to spend more time with their loved ones. Organ donation is a way for you to live on far after you're gone, and the memories of both your family and the families of others you've saved, who will be forever grateful for your sacrifice. Knowing the amount of good you can do in the world after you're gone is just one of the many benefits of being a donor. While I know none of us want to think about our passing, we also know that when we're gone, we will no longer be in need of our organs, but other people will be. A common misconception people have when deliberating organ donation and envisioning the end of their lives is that if they're registered as organ donors, doctors won't work as hard to save their lives. Mayo Clinic debunked this idea, stating that hospital staff's sole focus is always on you as their patient, giving you the best possible care, which is catered to your medical needs. Similarly, when people visualize what it will look like when their loved ones say goodbye, some people desire an open casket funeral. Another misconception is that after organ donation, this is not an option, but that isn't true. According to Mayo Clinic, organ and tissue removal will not affect the visual appearance of the individual, who will be clothed for burial. Additionally, the bodies will always be treated with care and respect, with no visible signs of significant damage to the body. Further, according to the University of Michigan Medicine, candidates for organ donation can select which tissues and organs they prefer to donate prior to their passing. So you don't have to donate anything that you would be uncomfortable with. Looking into the future far after you're gone, how do you want people to remember you? By being an organ donor, your family, along with the families you touched, will remember you as a generous, caring, and selfless person who was willing to give the gift of life for the betterment of others. Among the several other benefits of organ donation, it will allow your life-giving legacy to live on far past your time. The opportunity to save lives and save families pain and suffering while preserving your legacy and establishing a good conscience is unlike anything else. According to organdonor.gov, while 90% of Americans publicly support organ donation, only 60% are actually registered donors. This goes to show the urgency for action that is needed in order to help others in the future. After surviving a global pandemic in which nearly 3 million lives were lost worldwide, we understand better than ever the value of life and the detrimental effect death has on others. There's no better time than the present to sign up to become an organ donor, saving up to 8 lives and enhancing up to 75. While in the end, being an organ donor will cost you nothing, it will give someone else everything. Set up your final contribution to society by registering to become an organ donor, and let yourself live on by giving the gift of life. It will take you just a few moments to visit giftoflifemichigan.org and register to become an organ donor.